So if you believe that life is always working against you, guess what? You'll collect evidence to prove that belief. But if you walk through life as if everything always works out for you, you will start to experience something extraordinary. Your belief shapes your reality, acting as if it will all work out shifts your mindset. And mindset is the foundation of destiny. You know, there's something powerful about belief, something people often overlook. And I'm not just talking about belief in God, or the universe, or luck. I'm talking about the belief you carry about yourself and about how life works for you. You see, your belief doesn't just influence how you feel. It shapes how you see. It's like wearing a pair of glasses. If the lens is scratched with fear, doubt, and negativity, then no matter how good things actually are, all you'll ever see is what's wrong. That's real. Now let me take it a step deeper. Psychologists will tell you this. Your brain has a filter. It's called the reticular activating system. It decides what information to let through and what to ignore. So when you believe you're unlucky, or that things never go your way, your brain literally starts scanning for proof of that. It locks in on every failure, every closed door, every person who didn't text back. That belief becomes a magnet, pulling in everything that lines up with it. But flip that switch. Just imagine if you started walking like you already knew life was working out for you. Imagine the shift in your posture, your energy, your tone. Suddenly, you see opportunities that were always there, but now you're ready to act on them. You handle rejection differently. You don't panic when things take a turn. You adapt because your foundation is built on belief, not fear. And here's the beautiful part. When you consistently act from that place, people start treating you different. Not because they've changed. You have. So I'll tell you like this. If you want life to change the lens you're looking through. Because belief isn't just a feeling, it's a decision. And that decision determines the life you lead. Energy attracts energy. Your attitude sends a signal to the universe. Positivity invites possibilities. Let me tell you something about energy, because this right here is where most people miss it. Everything you do, everything you say, even how you walk into a room, it all carries energy. And people may not always be able to explain it, but they can feel it. That's why sometimes you meet somebody and something just feels off. Or on the flip side, someone walks in and the whole room lights up. That's not luck, that's energy. Now, let's break this down with some real talk. Energy isn't just some vague, mystical thing floating in the air. It's measurable. Science backs this up. The emotional state you live in, whether it's fear, anger, peace, or joy, it vibrates at a certain frequency. And here's the kicker. Whatever frequency you're on, that's what you tend to attract. You ever notice how when you're in a bad mood, everything irritates you? That's not coincidence, that's resonance. So when you act as if everything always works out for you, you're not faking it. You're tuning your energy to expectation. And let me tell you, expectation is magnetic. People are drawn to confidence. Opportunities are attracted to preparation. You don't need to know how it's all going to unfold, but your energy should speak like it already has. That's what makes doors open, not arrogance, not pretending alignment. When your energy lines up with belief, the world responds. You might not be able to control every outcome, but you can absolutely control the energy you bring. And that energy becomes the foundation of your experience. So let me leave you with this. Stop waiting for proof to believe. Believe, and the proof will find you. Faith is a muscle you must exercise. You build confidence through practice, not perfection. You know, people talk about faith like it's something you either have or you don't. Like it's some kind of spiritual lottery. Either you were born with it or you missed the draw. But that's not true. Faith is not a gift. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows when you work it. You don't build faith by sitting around hoping things change. You build it by walking through life with the mindset that things will change because you're showing up differently. Let me be real with you. Having faith when everything is going right, that's easy. Anybody can do that. But having faith when everything's uncertain, when the bills are stacking up, when the relationship falls apart, when the opportunity slips through your fingers, that's where real strength is born. That's where faith turns into a force. Now, I want you to think about this psychologically. The brain is wired to seek certainty. It's built to avoid pain. So when you're stepping into unknown territory with faith, you're rewiring your brain to trust something beyond logic. That's not weakness. That's courage on a deeper level. You're literally training your mind to rise above fear. And over time, that kind of mental training creates a new default setting. You become someone who doesn't panic, you pivot. You stop overreacting. You recalibrate. That's what faith does when it's exercised consistently. It doesn't make life easy. It makes you stronger. So don't wait until you feel ready to believe. That's not how this works. You act as if. You trust the process, and you let that trust build your strength over time. Here's the bottom line. Faith isn't about knowing. It's about showing up anyway. Learn to see lessons, not just obstacles. Acting as if creates space for growth. Not just outcomes. Let's talk about something most people get wrong, how they see problems. See, everybody wants life to be smooth. No setbacks, no delays, no disappointments. But that's not how life works. Life comes with challenges, and if you don't train your mind to see the lesson inside the obstacle, you'll keep tripping over the same things again and again. Every setback you face is either going to break you down or build you up. And the difference is how you see it. You've got to shift your mindset from "why is this happening to me?" to "what is this trying to teach me?" That's a grown-up question. That's a mindset of maturity. Because listen, every struggle you face is carrying a message. Every delay has a deeper design. And if you're only focused on the pain, you're going to miss the purpose. Philosophers have said it for centuries. Pain is the pathway to wisdom. Psychologists will tell you, growth rarely happens in comfort. So when you act as if everything always works out for you, even in hard times, what you're really doing is saying, "I may not like this, but I trust it has something for me." That shift doesn't mean you ignore the difficulty. It means you don't let it define you. And something incredible happens when you start living like that. You get stronger, you get wiser, you start seeing that some of the worst moments in your life were actually setting you up for the best ones. So the next time you hit a wall, don't just ask how to get around it, ask what it's trying to reveal. Because here's the truth, the lesson is always there, but only if you're willing to look past the pain to find it. Prepare for what you pray for. Your actions must align with your beliefs. Act like it's already yours, you know. Everybody wants the breakthrough. Everybody's praying for the opportunity, the promotion, the dream to come to life. But here's the question I ask folks all the time. Are you prepared for what you're praying for? Because wanting something and being ready to receive it are two different things. Real talk. Some of us are waiting for doors to open that we haven't even built the discipline to walk through yet. Let me break this down for you. You can't just say, "I believe it's mine," and then live like it's not. That's not faith, that's fantasy. If you believe something is coming, if you truly believe that life is working out in your favor, then your actions should match that belief. That means waking up and preparing like the opportunity already exists. That means building the skills, managing your time, getting your finances in order, and protecting your energy. You have to act like it's already on the calendar, even if the invitation hasn't arrived yet. Philosophically speaking, this is about alignment. Your preparation is a signal to the universe that you're serious. Psychologically, it builds confidence. It creates a feedback loop where your effort reinforces your belief, and your belief fuels more effort. You're no longer just hoping, you're building momentum. And momentum is what turns belief into results. It's like this. You can't expect to win the race if you haven't been training. So stop treating your vision like it's a lottery ticket. Treat it like it's a job that's already yours and you're just clocking in early. So let me leave you with this. If you're not living like it's coming, don't be surprised when it doesn't. Grace finds those who expect it when you walk in grace and gratitude. Life bends in your favor. Let me tell you something that doesn't get talked about enough. Grace. That quiet force that shows up in your life not because you earned it, but because you were open to receiving it. And I've learned this. Grace don't chase people who expect the worst. It finds the ones who walk through life with expectancy, with gratitude, with the mindset that something good is always possible. That's when grace shows up. Not early, not late, right on time. Now look, we live in a world that teaches us to prepare for the worst, to guard ourselves, to assume disappointment, to play it safe. But here's the problem. When you expect life to go wrong, you live closed. You stop seeing opportunities. You block blessings because you're too busy bracing for impact. But when you live like life is unfolding in your favor, even when it doesn't look like it in the moment, that's when grace can do its best work. Psychologically, this is about neuroplasticity. Your brain wires itself around whatever you focus on. If you're constantly preparing for failure, you condition your mind to overlook solutions. But when you train yourself to expect favor, to anticipate good outcomes, you light up the parts of your brain that support creativity, problem solving, and emotional resilience. You're not just hoping for a better life. You're creating the space for it. And philosophically, it's simple. Life tends to meet you at the level of your expectation. Not what you say you believe, but what you live like you believe. So I'll leave you with this. Grace doesn't follow fear. It follows faith wrapped in gratitude. Expect it, walk in it, and it will find you.